Hello and welcome to the Kaisercraft blog. My name's Colette. This is the second video tutorial on using the Kaisercraft decorative dies with the Bigshot. In today's video tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a single swing card. I'm going to show you how to create a circle card and also how to actually make your dies a little bit longer when you're cutting them. So to start off with, we're going to use our swing card. So I've got my cutting tabs in place here, so tab 2 is down, my metal shim is on, and my cutting acrylic plate is in position. I'm going to take a standard Kaisercraft C6 card and I'm going to take the side of it in the front and fold this back towards the fold in the center, so it's folded towards the front. I'm then going to open that up and position that on my base platform. I'm going to be using the scalloped, one of the nesting scallops from the Kaisercraft set. I think it's the second size up. And what I do with all of my circles and scallops, I make a little permanent mark on the actual die about halfway up, so I know where the halfway mark is. Now I'm going to take this with the cut side down and I'm going to place those two center marks that I've made on the score line in the center of my card. And I'm just going to hold this die in place with a bit of this masking or printing tape from Kaisercraft. I'm going to pop my decorative die, I'm going to pop my acrylic plate in, and I'm going to line that up with the score line on my card, and then I'm going to go ahead and feed this through. I'm going to remove that printed tape, pop it up here for my next project. You'll always see printed tape on my Bigshot. And then you can see we've just cut half of that scallop, which is exactly what we need for this card. I'm just going to move this to one side and I'm now going to go ahead and I'm going to cut another of the same size scallop in another piece of cardstock. This is licorice, but you could use whatever you wanted. You could also use your beautiful printed paper as well. So we have a black scallop, and red always goes nicely with black, so we're going to have a black one as well. Okay, so all I need to do now is to take my card and I'm going to pop the red one in the front. Now this is the Kaisercraft trim, and just a little tip here, when you run it down, don't just drag it off to the right, will give you a really nice clean cut every time. So that's the Kaisercraft glue runner, should I say. So just popping this down, I need to match this up exactly with the circle that I've just done. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to use my glue runner again, and I'm just going to pop this down in exactly the same position, exactly over the top of that die. So I'm going to have this time the black and the red, and what we have our single swing card. So you can go ahead and decorate that in whatever fashion you want. Really nice little card, something just a little bit different for your card making. So that's the single swing card. Now the second of the card folds that I want to show you today is a circle card, and what I've got here is a piece of cardstock which is 5 inches by 10 inches, and I've folded it and scored at 5 inches to create a card, and I've got my largest circle die. What I need to do is place this die so the top of it comes just over the edge. Can you see that cutting line there is just over the top of the card? That's exactly what I want. I'm going to pop that down on my platform here, and I'm going to get my plate and I'm going to run that through the Bigshot. Now because I'm using 2 layers of cardstock, the chances are it's not cut through properly, and it hasn't. So what I need to do is, keeping that in place, is to position this elsewhere, rotate it, position elsewhere on my mats, because my mats are pretty well used. In fact, I do need to go and get myself some fresh cutting mats, I think. Just check again, and I might give that one more pass. So again, I'm just going to rotate that again and position it slightly differently, and I'm going to run that through. Okay, yep, that's good. So just removing my die and removing my circle card. So what I now have is a nice circle card. Fantastic. Now, just to change this into a circle easel card, what I need to do is, with a contrasting piece of paper, or you could use decorative printed paper, I'm going to cut out one of the Kaisercraft nesting scallops, run that through, okay. And what I want to do is to go back to my card, and I need to fold the top of this card down so we have a good circle fold, so it's nice and straight up on top. Okay, and then what I want to do is position a little bit of adhesive just along here and close it up, and then position this wherever I want it to go. That looks about right. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, black and white, such a classic combination of colours. So that then forms my easel card. So when it pops up, the easel stands up proud. So all you need to do is decorate that and make sure you put a little stopper in there to stop the card, or for the card to rest on once it's open. Here's an example of one I finished for a Bigshot class that's coming up shortly in my shop, and this is what it's going to look like. And I've just used washi tape and a couple of layers of card strips stuck on top of each other to stop that. So that's the circle card. Now, the third technique I want to show you today is how you can take your borders and make them longer, so you can actually use them on the whole width of a 12 by 12 piece of card without having lots of joins. And I'm going to use this particular lacy border here, and I've got a strip of cardstock, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my die down and I'm going to put my plate on top, and remembering the rule that this will only cut where you have both plates together. So the very last little piece of this die is not going to cut, and that's exactly what I want for this technique. So I'm going to run this through my machine. Okay. Now, remembering that little rule, always check your die. Now I'm going to run this through in a different position again. It's because my plates are very well worn, and I think I do need to go and treat myself to another set of plates. I use the Bigshot every day and for a whole heap of things. So that's now cut beautifully. So I'm going to pop that out. I'm going to remove this here, and I'm going to remove the die, keeping that die intact. Okay. You know, you can put some grease-proof paper between the die and your card, so the card, then greaseproof paper, and then the die, and that does help with the ejection quite a bit. Just need to clean up this die here. There's some little bits in here, just get that little brush and brush them out. A couple there that haven't quite come out, so back to this here. Okay. Great little tool from Kaiser, this one, love it. Okay, so now I've done that, I want to continue with my design. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to move this up to the second one from the end and position that. I can get a feel for where that die is. That's bang on there. I'm going to take my printed tape here just to hold the top of this in position. And remembering the rule that it will only cut between the two plates. So I don't want to cut above where that masking tape is. I want to cut below it. So I'm then going to take this and continue to roll. Just checking my cut. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I can then remove this tape and just pop this little die out. And you can see now, and you can just keep on doing that as long as you want, popping out the little bits with your trusty best friend, the little Kaisercraft tool here. Isn't this such a pretty, pretty lacy border? Love it. So finally we have our lovely extra long strip of patterned border. As you can see, longer than the original. You can carry on and make this even longer if you want. So that's a useful little technique to get more out of your dies. Thank you for watching the video today. Thumbs up is always grateful if you've enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Colette. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye.